It's the story of one of the best book to film adaptations I have ever come across. That story is Because of Winn Dixie. I couldn't think of another way to start this. The hardest part of these episodes is just starting. I watched Because of Winn Dixie. Oh, actually, I should probably start with my usual uh, intro. I don't really have an intro. The Because of Winn Dixie, it came out in 2005 and was directed by Wayne Wang. It stars AnnaSophia Robb, Jeff Daniels, Jeff Daniel, no S, Eva Marie Saint, Cicely Tyson, and Dave Matthews. I okay, so I saw this movie for the first time shortly after it came out, and it was just like, it's a fun, harmless movie, whatever. And then I saw it again in 2007, and it became one of my favorite movies, and I've seen it so many times since then. And I actually hadn't seen it in a few years when I watched it. I saw it was on Disney Plus, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna do an episode on it. And I usually I watch a movie and immediately review it. I got distracted, but I had to go somewhere almost immediately after I watched it. So I watched it yesterday, and now I'm filming it. And I have to leave for work in less than an hour, so no rush. I was like, let's just crank out an episode real fast. I also took a week off unintentionally because life. I'm not a professional podcaster, but yeah, when I saw that Eva Marie Saint was in this years ago, I got excited. I was like, I didn't know that was Eva Marie Saint. She basically she's a legend. She goes back way back to she was in On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. So that tells you how she's a classic. She's actually 98. She's still alive. In fact, the only person here in this movie who's since passed away that I've seen is Cicely Tyson. I haven't seen her in anything else. I think it's Cicely. I mean, I looked at the movies she's in, and like I have seen some of them, but like I don't remember her specifically. She plays Gloria Dump in this, and she did great. Everybody in this movie did great, and I didn't realize it was Dave Matthews until he started singing. There's a scene where he starts singing, and I'm like, that sounds like Dave Matthews. And then the credits roll. I'm like, oh, it is. What's funny is that there's an opening credits, and his name's on there. Now, Jeff Daniels. This is the first dramatic role I'd seen him do. I'm used to seeing him being a comedian. So I was like, oh, Jeff Daniels, yeah, he's in this. Yeah, it's gonna be funny. No. Yeah, there was a couple funny moments with him, but like it was more of a dramatic role. AnnaSophia Robb, she's not as well known, but I'm a huge fan. I'd seen this movie before Bridge of Terabithia, and I didn't realize it was the same person until years later. It was actually in 2000. I don't remember. 2008. That wasn't usually. It was the year after Bridge of Terabithia came out. She was Leslie Burke, and I actually might review that movie someday. That's one of my favorite movies. Um, because of Winn Dixie and Bridge of Terabithia were like hugely, they like they were both important in us for that time period. It got me through. It's confusing. It's a long story, but like I basically only had those two movies, and I would watch them back and forth. And so like, it was either that or be bored. And then I still didn't realize it was the same person. It was a coincidence that the two movies I had starred the same actress in two of her early roles. I'm not sure if she's been in anything since. I mean, I know she was in Jumper, and she was in other things. I am gonna look now because I want to know. Because let's see, AnnaSophia Robb. I was waiting for the suggestion to. Oh, anyway, so the movie, yeah, her first movie was Because of Winn Dixie, followed by Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She was Violet Beauregard. Bridget Terabithia, The Reaping. She was in Jumper. Let's see, scroll today. Oh, she's still in movies, yeah. I haven't heard any of these. Rebel Ridge is to be announced. And last year she was in Lansky. Good night, darling. Anything here that I have seen or heard of? Soul Surfer. That's the last big thing I've seen her in. She was Bethany Hamilton. She was the girl that she was a surfer, and her arm got bit off by a shark. AnnaSophia Robb played her in that movie. Oh, she was in Race to Witch Mountain. Oh, she's part of a meme. The one with the rock and drive in the driver's seat, and then like there's the blonde girl in the back seat. That's from Race to Witch Mountain. The blonde girl is AnnaSophia Robb. Anyway, on to the story. I read the book years later, and I thought it would be completely different. But no, it's crazy how accurate they made the adaptation. The the thing is though, it's not a straight one to one. It's not you can't follow the book. You can't follow the movie with the book because they accurately recreated most of the story. However, it's out of order. Everything happens in a different order, but it still makes sense. It's kind of a plotless movie. It's just going from thing to thing, and which makes it sound bad. Which I like I like plotless movies. Some of them are really good. A movie doesn't have to be like your typical. I like plotless movies because, especially when they're interesting, like this one and like what happened to what's eating Gilbert Grape. That one was another one that was basically plotless and was still really good. It had a good story. It's just basically it goes from scene to scene. It's like, oh, we're doing this now, and this is another one of those where you basically just following her through. It's like over the course of the summer. I think it's the summer. It's Time isn't really a thing in this movie. I don't know if it's a week or the whole summer. It's kind of implied it's the whole summer, but I don't know. This movie, I remember when it was first advertised. It looked like, and it seemed like it was going to be like it's like a little kids movie. It's made for little kids, and it was. It's a kids movie, but like watching it yesterday, like I forgot how like it gets pretty deep at some points. Like they get into like topics of like alcohol abuse and stuff like that, which like war. They mentioned war. No, but like yeah, like it's kind of like what I was saying with what's Gilbert eating grape. Yes, uh, that it's like that where there's things going on in the background that you if you're not paying attention, it's like oh it's just a thing going on, but yeah, like there were moments because Jeff Daniel, who is Anna's Sophia Rupp's her name's Opal and his name is not given. He's just known as the preacher because he's a preacher. Um, it's he's given a character like in the book. He's described as like a turtle because she keeps saying he's like a turtle, like it's constantly in his shell, and he never really like emotes. And they do a really good job at like showing that in the movie, where like he's sitting at the table and he's kind of looks like a turtle, and it shows him like that several times throughout the film. And I like that they did that. but it also kind of shows that he's kind of keeps to himself. At one point, Opal walks up to him, and he just kind of jumps. Like, oh, hey, what do you want? He was in his own little world. It also it shows in certain scenes that he had a past. He wasn't always a preacher. Like he had some kind of past, like before he was a preacher. It doesn't touch on that at all. It's like there's a scene where Winn Dixie, the dog. Oh yeah, it's a movie about a dog. I forgot to mention the dog. There's a scene where they leave him home. It's like, oh, just leave him, and then it cuts to them coming back, and the house is a complete mess because he trashed it. And Jeff Jeff Bridges Jeff Daniels' character goes, God blessed. It's like he almost swore there, but so I was like, I like that they added little details like that. That's not in the book. But with the dog, I saw on the Wikipedia, but elsewhere too, they use two different dogs. There's the dog. I don't remember specifically like a dog for the quiet moments and the dog for the running moments. Or two different dogs. And it was a rare kind, and I don't remember what kind it was. But the director said that he chose that dog because it looked like the dog on the cover, but also because they're special for. I don't remember that. What I want to get to right now is, oh, my alarm. I should be getting ready for work right now, but I'm recording a podcast. I am going to be late for work. Anyway, I couldn't find anywhere online about this. I even watched a full video on YouTube. There's this guy doing Saturday night movie and a snack or something like that, where he just goes to filming locations. And it was a really interesting video. But I saw, I think it was on the audio commentary for the DVD, where they were talking about, it was an actual Winn Dixie that they went to at the beginning. They go to a Winn Dixie, where Opal goes to a Winn Dixie where she finds the dog and she names him Winn Dixie because they're at a Winn Dixie. Well, some in the audio commentary, somebody was talking. They said those weren't actors. The employees and the manager, they were they were actual employees and the actual manager. And I couldn't find anything online about that. And so I was wanting to verify instead of just saying, "Hey, I think that these people were real." But yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't even think about looking at this. I looked on Wikipedia and I did a Google search, but I'm going to look on IMDb because of Winn Dixie. There we go. Let's look at the cast. There is looking for the manager. It's going to keep scrolling. Shopper, uncredited. Church member, uncredited. Officer. Dog. Shopper. Mike. Gertrude, the parrot. Opal's mom. I'm not seeing the manager. Store manager. John Mc. John McConnell. No, it says that he is an actor. Okay, well then, why did the audio commentary say that? Okay, never mind. Forget that. Well, there were employees there, and they're not credited at all in here. But I did see Ella Fanning on there, and it reminds me of something else I wanted to talk about. Ella Fanning. She is the little sister of Dakota Fanning, and they look so much alike that when I first saw this movie, I thought it was Dakota. I was like, oh, I didn't know she was in this movie. She's a little younger than I remember because she was in War of the Worlds around the same time. So yeah, I was like, hey, yeah, they must have filmed this a long time ago because she's she's a little older now. Um, but like I thought maybe she stopped acting because I didn't see her anymore. She was in this movie. She was in this one movie because of Winn Dixie in 2005, and then I don't see her anymore. And then I'm scrolling to see where it was. 2018. I saw a trailer for Teen Spirit starring Ella Fanning, and I'm like, oh, she's finally making a comeback. And I'm looking at her Wikipedia, and she did not make a comeback because she didn't go anywhere. She's been active every year since 2001. Okay, almost every year. I'm seeing gaps. Wait, 2001, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. She skipped a year. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and TBA. She's been active every year except one. So she never went anywhere. She's been in multiple movies most years. She also, I should have known this because I watched it. Where is it? The same year she did Because of Winn-Dixie, she voiced a character on My Neighbor Totoro. She did. They redubbed it and re-released it, and I watched it, and that's the version I watched. And it did say her name on the opening credits. So like I should have been like, hey, she was a little kid. She voiced like the little sister, I think. Oh, she was in Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Daisy Fuller, age 7. Astro Boy, Grace, Nutcracker 3D, Mary, Super 8. She was Alice. Some of these I have seen. Maleficent. She was Aurora. I didn't realize she was Aurora. So she's been under my nose this whole time. But yeah, I think she might have been. She looks like she's actually more active than her sister. Let's see. Let's look at Dakota's filmography. Let's see filmography. Yeah, her sister hasn't been in as much. Wait, actually, it looks about the same. It no, it's you know what? They're both very busy. It's not a competition. What am I talking about? Oh, Because of Winn Dixie. This movie is okay. I can go on and on about how good this movie is. One thing that I did notice the first time I watched it, and I kind of rolled my eyes at how stupid it was, but now I watch it and I'm like, that is so good. Was, usually in movies with kids, like, they're smarter than kids. The kids are smarter than kids. Like, they don't act like kids. And, because the movies are aimed at kids, they want the kids to like, they'll look up to this other kid or to think this kid is cool, but they let AnnaSophia Robb be a kid. Like, there's times where she's like she's crying like a kid, and she's whining like, no, I want it, please, like, like whining like a little kid. And it is kind of annoying at times, but at the same time, like, it is believable that she would act like this at that age because she was a kid. and, and it's, looking back, it's kind of refreshing they let her do that instead of just this like super cold, no emotion, I can rule the world type kid or whatever. And yeah, like that that's well, I like that. uh but also not just with the whining, like she and these, like, the Dewberry brothers don't seem to like each other very much, and they keep throwing very childish insults at each other. And like every time they throw these at each other, I'm like, okay, that is what a kid would say. That is definitely a very childish remark. I bet these actors are going back and watching these movies and like, oh no, why did I say that? You were like 10. You said what a 10-year-old would say. But kind of like what I was saying with some of these other movies that I've seen a million times and you're still finding things about it. I noticed something this time that I hadn't noticed before, and all the times I'd seen it. Near the end, Dave Matthews' character, Otis, they're at a party at Gloria Dump's house, and he's carrying a big jar of pickles, and he drops it, and he catches it, and then him and Eva Marie Saint, they're um dealing with that, and then in the background, the landlord goes, I think it was the landlord or Gloria Dump. One of them says, "What just happened?" I heard someone say, "What happened?" Gloria Dump has bad vision, so it might have been her. And Opal, AnnaSophia Robb's character, says he dropped some pickles, but it happened so quickly and so faint. It's almost like it happened naturally, like it wasn't scripted. Because why would you script that little thing that most people wouldn't have even noticed? I wonder if it was actually the actor asking and AnnaSophia Robb asking. Or I wonder if Dave Matthews wasn't supposed to drop the pickles. What if that was a blooper just left in? It's like it's like this is how clever they were at filmmaking. No, it was a blooper. I don't know. Whatever it was, I'm glad they left it in because it's a little thing of like realism in this movie. But anyway, it is on Disney Plus. Like I said, I do highly recommend you watch it. It is a very good movie. A tad emotional at parts. It's not like the most emotional thing, but it's considering it bills itself as like this light-hearted kids film about a dog. I was like, wow, this is kind of a deep movie. I didn't realize how deep this movie got and get. It's no 21st, no, 2001. You know what? 2001 Space Odyssey, that movie is boring. That one, I tried watching it. I literally use it to put me to sleep sometimes because it is that boring. But that is not a review for this. Um, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I would have given it a perfect 10, but the ending, it's a little too happy. It kind of sets up a message about letting go. And if they had ended it the way they were aiming towards, like they looked like they were ending it a certain way, if they had ended it like that, and there's a message about letting go and getting over things and just moving forward, it would have been a 10. But they wanted to have the perfect happy ending, and they just completely undid their message with in like the last 30 seconds of the movie. Granted, that's in the book too, so I mean, blame the author. No, it's still a really good movie. Just yeah, I need to end this and get ready for work. So yeah.